What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands and GLS content today. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. Okay, the reason for this is there's something that I want to share that was posted in the GLS Discord, and we're going to dive into that, but let me just quickly reference the post that Aggie put out yesterday, which was the Goals game is built on top of something we're calling the Invenium platform. Invenium is a refactored code base of Splinterlands that allows white label games to be made which operate on top of the platform. So it's a little nuanced, but there's a roadmap for the Goals game, Splinterlands, and Invenium platform. What you're looking at below is the roadmap for the Invenium platform. The things that we add to Invenium essentially automatically enhance the Goals ecosystem because that's what the Goals game is built on top of. So here are some features to the platform that we're planning to introduce in the next 5 months. And separately, there's a roadmap for Goals, which we've already gone through from the last town hall. But let's go ahead and actually dive into this. So I have it pulled up, should be a little bit bigger for you to see. And actually, before we jump into this, I call this the Splinterlands as a service. And I kind of coined this a while ago on like one of the town halls very, very far back with the idea that Splinterlands has this whole infrastructure built out that they are now using, right, with their partnership with the MLSPA. They're using that infrastructure to create more games. And so what they're doing is refining or refactoring this code base and making it easier so that other games can potentially come in. So when you think about what the benefits are for Splinterlands or specifically SPS holders and stakers, with the GLX airdrop, just imagine this, almost being like a plug and play type of service where a game company wants to come in, or actually any company could come in, right? Maybe even Warner Music is, or the Warner Music partnership can avail of this. But it's just like, if they want to create a game, well, here is the structure. Now you just got to come in with different skins, maybe tweak the code to, have different token types or availabilities or burn rates, whatever the case is, different assets within the game. But the whole point is that they're creating this list of, they're creating this infrastructure that they can then sell out as a service, right, for helping to maintain or to license or whatever the case is. And so, again, I've been calling this Splinterlands as a service. I think that it could be really powerful. I think it could help to scale up a lot of other things. And if the team's intention is to have everything come back and give value to the SPS token, this is why I'm bullish long term. Now, again, this is a 5-month roadmap for what they're planning out between now and the end of Q2. But obviously, I don't think we're going to be getting a bunch of new games launched in that time frame. This is something that is, well, we'll call it that I think will be beneficial in the years to come, especially if new companies are going to be joining, new projects are going to be joining the space between now and the next couple of bull runs, right? And when I say bull runs, I'm talking specifically about like the Bitcoin halving cycles that will be in 2024 and probably in 2028 sometime. So there will be, there'll be a push towards this. And so Splinterlands is kind of building that infrastructure at the bottom with this Invenium platform. So this is the first time they're sharing that, and they have a name for it. Like I said, it's called the Invenium platform. So let's go ahead and dive into what they have for both Q1 and Q2. So you can see here, for the most part, they have a lot of stuff done with authentication, so creating accounts, multi-account management, all that. They have marketplace and a rental market. Now, this is something that I think makes Splinterlands very, very unique. And is one of the main reasons that I got into the game initially, because I thought there was such a robust economy there, not just around the game tokens, but around the game assets. And so that has only gotten better with the Splinterlands non-card market, because now it's not just cards, but literally all assets. Well, not all, but most assets you can trade on there, whether they're unopened card packs, totems, land even, right? So there's a lot that can be done. And now that they have that built, they can just refine it and then essentially create new skins of it for any kind of collaboration that they do in the future. So that looks like it's 50% done. They have a payment and shop system. This is important, right? Because a lot of games or a lot of projects that'll be coming in will probably not, be as decentralized focus as something like Splinterlands, but will still want to have some kind of crypto blockchain, nativity to it. So that being said, KYC is actually going to be really important, especially for once regulation is a little bit more settled. So the fact that Splinterlands already has that somewhat sorted out, they have that partnership with PayPal, so you can just easily convert fiat into crypto. There's a credit management system. So again, all this stuff looks really solid. And then to round out Q4, they had the validators. Now, we don't have operating validators just yet, but it sounds like Hardpoint is working hard at this. no, no pun intended. But it sounds like this is something that they're really shooting to try to get out by Q2. So it would make sense that if they're going to have a live version for the community in Q2, that they would want to get this shored up. And it looks like it's 80% done, right? For the most part, you got token transfer, asset creation, all that fun stuff. And then product documentation, they're at 0% now, but I would assume this is more like a SOP, standard operating procedure, where they just want to create something that is easily digestible by any company coming in. But again, that's what I take away from product documentation. It's just wanting to make sure, for those of you in the corporate side of things, any kind of SOP, standard operating procedure, just to make sure that anybody can come in and read and immediately apply whatever they need to do. Just like a big old manual. Okay, so not number, but quarter number 2. So this is stuff that Splinterlands already has, or at least some of it is already stuff that Splinterlands has. So you can see fungible tokens. What they have is transfer, mint, staking. So we've seen that already now with GLS or GLX, I should say. You can transfer it back and forth between something like Hive Engine. You can mint more of it. Obviously, they're staking. Now, what we don't have yet with GLX, but should be coming soon, is the ability to burn, and then you want cross-chain compatibility, which really just essentially means setting up probably on Ethereum, probably on Binance as well, so that you're able to bridge between those different chains. And if there's other chains that really start to solidify themselves in the future, I wouldn't be surprised if those bridges are created, because Ethereum and Binance, two of the biggest, obviously. But they also used to have Tron, because again, the game Splinterlands started in 2018. Tron was still big then. I believe they used to have Wax, or maybe not Wax, but Steam. And so obviously those two have essentially gone away or are not as popular now. But if things like Solana, AVAX, Polygon, if those really start to take off, and the team wants to have that kind of cross-chain compatibility, we could expect that to be somewhere on the roadmap in the future. Again, we don't know who the winners are yet, right? We're still very much in a bear market, and bear market is where projects go to die. So at this point, I mean, there's even FUD around Binance, right? Binance, the exchange, but how would that relate to Binance, the BNB chain, or the Binance Smart Chain as it used to be called, if something catastrophic were to happen to Binance? Again, I'm not saying that that's the case. I'm just saying that there's major FUD around Binance, or that there has been. So the point is that Ethereum seems like the only one that's, at least decentralized enough and robust enough, but there could be others in the future that get added on or get removed again, if that makes sense. So creating that type of infrastructure for the tokens, I think, will be important. Right now, the only way that you can get GLX is on Hive Engine, but I'm sure if it were to open up to Binance or Ethereum, you might get other people who are just like, I believe in Splinterlands, but I don't really want to mess with Hive, right? Like, I believe in Splinterlands, the company, and I believe in the type of soccer game that they're creating, or the football game that they're creating, and I want to speculate on it, for example. Well, then that could open it up. And to just take things back for a second, things really opened up for Splinterlands once the Binance Smart Chain integration was made available in 2021. Once you could start trading SPS on Binance, that's how I found my way in, right? And I know that's how many other people found their way in. So again, this cross-chain compatibility is something I think is really important, because Hive is just super small, but it does allow people to build on Hive, get all of the cool aspects of Hive, right? The resource credits, the transactionless fees, or feeless transactions. And so if we can get that set up, or if the team can get that set up and make it super easy across the board, that would be awesome. So that is for the fungible tokens. On the non-fungible token side, so this would be the NFTs or the cards most likely, or actually that can include land too. You got transfer, mint, staking. It looks like they have most of the stuff ready to go, but the combining aspect is not yet there. Now, with GLX, or GLS, actually, let me be very clear. With GLG, Genesis League Goals, we have packs available. We can transfer those packs. The packs are minted. We can stake the packs if we need to, right? But we can't open the packs, start combining cards, start combining assets if needed. So that looks like it is still very much on the roadmap and needs to be completed. Going to the admin dashboard, again, this is at 0%, but this seems more like just creating some type of UI or UX where people will be able to easily interface with all of this stuff. The token bridge, So here you go. This is what I was talking about with the cross-chain compatibility. So obviously Hive Engine is set up for, and let's be very clear, right? Because GLS GLS, the platform, is its own kind of layer two on top of the Hive blockchain. Hive Engine is another layer two that exists on top of the Hive blockchain. So we have this transferring between two second layer apps on the Hive blockchain, right? The GLS website as well as the Hive Engine website. And it's the same thing for Splinterlands, right? Where if you can have stuff in game on the Splinterlands website, or you can send it out to Hive Engine, which again is going to be its own separate website, its own separate project, and its own platform essentially. But they're both second layers solutions. So we have that availability across the board for both Splinterlands and now GLS. But what we will need is ERC and BEP, which again is Ethereum and Binance. And then reporting. This is at 0%, so financial user game. So this is probably what I'm assuming they're trying to create, so that again, plug and play. Companies can come in, they can just hire Splinterlands to put all this together for them, and then they have a nice, easy dashboard. So overall, again, for most people, you're going to look at this and be like, this doesn't really matter. And you're right. It doesn't matter if you're just playing Splinterlands, if you're just playing GLS and don't really care about what's happening behind the scenes or the broader things that are potentially to come in the future. But I get excited seeing a roadmap for this and seeing it much more, mapped out, because this to me shows a lot of intentionality by the team to really push the services side. And yes, that doesn't necessarily impact the players in the sense that let's say they strike up a partnership with such and such company, right? Or they strike up a partnership or a deal with, again, we can use Warner Music. Let's say there's an artist on Warner Music that wants to, they strike a deal with, they want to create a game here, whatever, it's a music-based game or something, and all they have to do is come in, plug and play, use these things. Well, at the end of the day, where do the benefits come in? If anything, there will probably be value given out to SPS stakers, as we've seen in the example given by GLS. And as the team has repeatedly said, right, for the future, they want to be able to give as much value back to SPS stakers and SPS holders as possible. So I would expect a lot of that value to come in. And it does have a downstream effect to everybody involved in the Splinterlands ecosystem, because if you're playing the game, every time you win a battle, you earn some SPS. So at the end of the day, it will impact you indirectly. It will impact everyone indirectly. But again, this makes me bullish on Splinterlands, the platform, Splinterlands, the company, and of course, since I'm here, Splinterlands, the game, and SPS. But this is much more high level. This is much more of a long-term type of approach. It doesn't impact, we're not going to get any new cards from this. I mean, maybe we could, who knows, right? Maybe a company comes in and wants to utilize or create a game using Splinterlands service, but they also want to, because of the relationship, they also want to create a game or a promo card in the game. So you never know. But the point is that I like the fact that they're much more intentional about this. They have it planned out and roadmapped. And with GDC, for example, around the corner, this is something that I'm hoping that the marketing team or whoever represents over there will be able to share and just say, yeah, we have a platform. If you want to get into Web3 or Web3 gaming, here is a platform in which you can come in and essentially plug and play by the middle of this year. I mean, even starting now potentially, but middle of this year we'll have a lot more things refined. So that is all I have for you guys. Let me know your thoughts though in the comments below. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.